Ellie Cohanim joins us now, a senior fellow for the Independent Women's Forum, served as a former State Department deputy special envoy under former President Trump, and came to the U.S. as an Iranian refugee. Why is this one even more dangerous than the 2015 deal, Ellie?
Brian, it's great to be with you. Brian, you know, the Biden administration came into office and they promised us a longer, stronger Iran deal. Instead, they're coming out of these Vienna talks with a shorter, weaker deal. It's catastrophic to U.S. national security, and this Iran deal is a historic betrayal of our allies, Israel, Saudi Arabia, and the rest of our Gulf Arab allies. The limitations on Iran's nuclear activity expires in just 2 years from now, Brian. The Iranian regime is going to receive $90 billion in sanctions relief, which what they'll do is fund their terror proxies, Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, the list goes on. And finally, Brian, this Iran deal doesn't even touch on Iran's ballistic missile activity. I have to remind the audience, what do you do with ballistic missiles? Well, you put nuclear warheads on them. There is no peaceful purpose to ballistic missiles, and that's the reason why President Trump ripped up the deal in the first place.
Right, and of course, and they never came clean on their nuclear intentions. It was the Israelis who grabbed all this documentation in 2018 that talked about their nuclear program. We never established a baseline of what they have. There's no snap elections. We have no access to the military bases where this stuff is made. And maybe the Iranian National Revolutionary Guard is going to be relieved of their terrorist status. How devastating would that be?
Well, it would be devastating to Americans because the IRGC has American blood on their hands. And I can't even imagine what the victims of Iran's terror, the families of these victims, are thinking right now, imagining that Joe Biden might lift the foreign terrorist organization designation off of the IRGC. Literally, there's the blood of Americans on their hands. And Brian, it would be a betrayal to our American families who've served in the military. Again, it's a historic betrayal of our allies, Israel, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. What we're seeing is MBS, the Saudi Crown Prince, won't even take Joe Biden's phone calls, and it's going to cause complete destabilization in the Middle East region. It will eventually bring the United States right back into the Middle East, and it's just incredibly dangerous for our own national security.
Hey, Ellie, just keep in mind, those people that used to be our allies in the region will just go to China. They don't care. China will have best of both worlds again. So short-sighted. They just want to undo everything that Trump did, even when he brought peace to the Middle East. Incredible. Hopefully, some sober Democrats will stop this in its tracks. Ellie, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.